Let me know when you're done.
Congratulations on the win. You had it easy in the early part of it, and I suppose you didn't really want to see those yellows late in the day.
No, I definitely didn't want to see those yellows. When I seen 10 to go, I thought, oh boy, we're going to sneak away with this one here. And then the caution came out right after that, and I mean, it made us work for it, but also, we were able to come away with the win, so the win was that much sweeter. So working for them is good. If you can come out on top, but an easy one's always nice too.
Right. You took the outside in those 2 restarts. That just where the car was working better. It's normally you don't really see someone taking the outside here.
Well, yeah. I mean, I had a really tough time holding my car down. We had a push in the center, and I honestly didn't want to be running somebody up into the 3rd groove and upset a bunch of these guys. I mean, I got to run with them either here at Kaukauna or in the TUNDRA Series all year. So I didn't need any any retaliation right away. So I chose the outside because that's where I knew I could hold my own, and my car was a little tight. Outside's good for a tight car, so it panned out well. So it was good.
Well, that one restart you almost gave it away because the car pushed up really bad.
Yeah. No, I went into turn 1 over there too hard on one of the starts, and then there was the caution right after that, which was in our favor. Out of the 4 cautions, one of them was definitely in our favor, and gave me a second attempt at it. I fired a little bit earlier with Bobby on my inside, and was able to clear him by the exit of 2.
Were you surprised that it was Kendall that was there, because he came out of nowhere from back in the pack to make it up that far?
Honestly, I knew he was a contender all day. He was fast time. I didn't realize that it was a battle for him to get to that position, but I knew that he was going to be a contender at the end of the day. So it was. I knew that the locals here were going to be tough, and Bobby definitely gave me a run for it.
How is it with the traveling series when you've got the regulars, and then you come to a track where you've got the locals that should be better here because of the more experience and all that? Is it any different running that than just with the regular touring guys?
Absolutely. I mean, the locals are always double tough because they're dialed in, and as the year progresses, I feel like it'll get progressively harder from at each track, because as the year progresses, the locals are tuning into that particular track, and they have a very great understanding of it. So when you show up and try and do it all in one day, it's extremely difficult. I was fortunate enough to team up with a local team, the same team I'll be running with every Thursday night, Chase Motorsports. So that definitely was a huge advantage over bringing my touring car here, where we have no setup book and no references to where to start.
Right. Well, it definitely showed at Slinger last year when the Slinger regulars are pretty much smoked everybody that was a Tundra regular because they hadn't been there before.
Exactly. I mean, Slinger and Kaukauna are the 2 most difficult tracks that I've been to in Wisconsin to grasp right away. I mean, Kaukauna is very unique in setup and with its bumps and just qualifying procedure. I mean, I choked on qualifying, which ultimately put me on the pole, simply because I don't know how hard you can drive it in and where to turn down and all the tricks and tricks to this track. So. And Slinger is another extremely difficult track, where I call it a light switch track, where you have to be extremely aggressive on all your movements in the car, the steering wheel, the brake, and the throttle. It's all very aggressive, extreme movements. So that makes for a very unique track. So those 2 are very difficult, and the locals are twice as hard there because they are dialed in again.
With this track being so uniquely difficult, you said you were pushing so bad in 1 and 2. Was it different in 3 and 4, or were you still pushing there as well?
I was pushing really bad in 3 and 4 as well. What actually ended up happening was we had a left front spring give out on us midday today, and we decided to run it anyways, because to make a huge change late in the day, we felt like it was going to slow us down. We had not enough test time to get it dialed in, so we decided to just continue on the path that we were on with the left front coil bound out. And I mean, it was a handful, but it was fast enough, so that was what we were looking for.
One yellow a little too late then? I mean, if you had that one more, and then you might have been in an even worse position?
No, I feel like Bobby was just really tough on starts. I mean, he was really tough, and it took my car. I actually would feel like I was getting more and more comfortable as the laps progressed. So longer runs are definitely better for us. But I feel like that if it were a 100-lap race, we'd still had a lot of car left.
Tundra is kind of notorious for having shorter lap features like that. Do you think maybe they should be a little longer, or do you like them being the shorter distance like that?
I feel like it keeps it action-packed. You know, I mean, more races. You go to a lot of big races, and it's situated out in 35 laps, and then they just run to the end. But in Tundra, I mean, we were fighting for the lead at the last lap. So I mean, they're doing. I feel like that's a good deal. As a driver, you want 1,000 laps to figure it out. You know who's going to win. But for the fans, I think it's a better race.
All right.